And welcome back to another episode of Ian as a Weirdo. Yes, you might have noticed a slight difference. My hair is green. It is a little more like grass green than lime green, but I kind of custom mixed the color kind of based on what I wanted. I think I put a little bit too much blue, but blue is like a pretty overpowering pigment that does tend to stick in the hair. But I do find my highlighter yellow sticks in my hair a little bit more. So I'm hoping that this will kind of fade to the right color. But even if it doesn't, green's always a fun hair color to have. Haven't had it in like over about a year. So anywho, so today I will be working on my baby blanket that I'm working on. So if you haven't seen the progress, so it started as a regular corner to corner blanket using baby rainbow from Red Heart Super Saver stripes. And I quickly realized that I didn't have enough of that yarn. So I was like, I can either go buy more yarn or I can try to stash bust a little bit because I know I have most of these colors in Caron Simply Soft. So I was like, I'm just going to go for that because I really never use my Caron Simply Soft anymore. I've evolved past it, but it used to be my favorite yarn. So I have a bunch of colors in it, especially pastels, which I don't really stock pastels anymore because I don't really like them. But for babies, it'll do just fine. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to create the side um, uh, kind of area that I want to have on um, on this blanket, and I'm kind of lining up the edges um, so that we can see where where I need to add or take away or whatever. Okay, so we still need at least one more row, and then I can just attach it, or I could do two more rows and then take off this row, and then I think that would be good. And then I'll attach it like I'm attaching um, something. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what to do because usually, so in the video I watched on how to do a in the round corner to corner, they built their corners out, which I'll be doing for the rest of them. But for this one I've already made, I'm like, well, I made it, so I might as well use it. So I don't know if like a mattress stitch would be better or if I should just try to like stitch into it. Um, Now I am propping my laptop on the yarn that I use for the square. So if you see the camera move a lot, I do apologize, but it's just the way it's got to be right now. It doesn't have to be like this, but I'm unorganized and I didn't really plan on this live. It just kind of happened. So I'm having a really fun time doing corner to corner. The square is definitely like more prone to errors than regular corner to corner, but I'm it's not it's not too bad. As I did have to frog quite a bit, but you know it's not the end of the world. Now there were some spots where like I only did like two double crochets instead of three, and I was like, you know what, I don't care that much. Like it's a fucking baby blanket. Like it's not visible to anyone who doesn't have like a crochet eye. It's not noticeable. It doesn't really significantly change the size of the piece. We're just gonna roll with it. I'm not gonna frog it because I want to have it done eventually. And if I frog every time I make a mistake, we're never gonna have anything made ever again. So I figured this blanket could tolerate some mistakes, and that is what I'm letting it do. So, welcome in. What are you working on? I was on Zach's live earlier, which was really fun. Oh, I was just, I literally just saw. your comment, Zach. Yeah, I was on your live earlier. That was a lot of fun. And I finished a packer that I was working on during your live, so that's ready to be shipped out. Oh, let me make sure I print that label, so I don't have to worry about that. Mm-hmm. Sold out. They're active, but expire? I don't know. I don't know. Usually this is easier to use. I'm like, where is the... Oh wait, I went to listings. That's why I was doing it so wrong. I was like, why can't I find that thing I just sent? Or I'm about to send. Laying bed, can't sleep. Yeah, I know that feeling. It sucks. I didn't realize how late it was because I just got kind of consumed with making the packer. So I made the packer. I made it to 5 inches because I thought that's what it was, and I like closed up the packer, went and sewed in all my ends, and then I realized it was supposed to be 7 inches, so I had to unravel all of that, which was super annoying. But let's see. Print, shipping label. I already purchased it. Sometimes my printer just like doesn't register, which I think is very rude. Okay, so it's not registering right now, so I'll have to do it tomorrow before shipping comes. I don't think it'll be there by Christmas, obviously, but this wasn't a gift, so I don't really, no. I prioritize the gifts, because if they didn't say they needed it by Christmas, I was like, I'm not rushing myself. I gave you a timetable of when I was gonna do it, so but yeah, so I have two things that I'm thinking about doing and would love to hear your opinion on. Um, so I think I talked about this maybe a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if I talked about this on your um, channel, Zach. But so one of my ideas is to do a whip Wednesday because I have so many whips that I haven't done. For those of you who don't know, whips are works in progress, and I have so many that I haven't done, and they're at various levels of completion, and I really want to finish them, move on, and have more space for more projects, obviously. So I'm gonna do like a whip Wednesday, and I was thinking about doing that every other week. Um, Even if some projects do take more than 2 weeks to do, I can still have that be on the whip Wednesday. Like there's a big project that I know I want to do, that I've started and made good progress on, but still a big project. Um, so yeah, so I'm not good at keeping focus for that long generally, but I haven't crocheted this in like well over a year. So who knows? Maybe my attention span will have magically grown overnight. And then I'm also thinking about doing a scrap buster Saturday or something like that, where where I now this is going to involve like a little bit more front work for me. So basically, my idea is to catalog all, I mean all of my yarn. So every color variation, all of it. Like, it's gonna be so much, and I know I'm gonna miss some. But I want to do that because I have a random picker. I'm using Excel, and I can do a quick function on like picking randomly, and I want to do that and randomly pick yarn to use. And some of these colors might be colors that I use all the time, and it's not a big deal. It'll be like, use black, whatever, and I'll be like, okay, that's easy, no big deal. And then other ones I've been holding on to for a very long time because they were so beautiful and gorgeous, and I didn't want to waste the yarn. But now I'm holding on to things for years, and I don't want to do that either because they deserve to be made just as much as the cheap yarn. I'm worried that like using the expensive nice yarn, the little bit that I have, I might like um waste it and just not get its true potential out there. Um so I'm thinking about doing that and also doing that every other week. So staggered with the Whip Wednesday would be the and these would be pre-recorded videos. Um, but the Stash Buster Saturdays. And plus, I'm about to have a lot more free time as my IOP is coming to a close. Um, so hopefully we will be able to get that going. At least I've started my whip Wednesday. The whip that I actually picked, what that actually got picked was this blanket, which I was kind of working on anyways. And almost woke the whole house. Oh no! And I can be pretty loud, I know. So, oops, sorry. Um. So yeah. So I already started this, and then just cataloging all my yarn. Uh, I wish there was an easier way to do it. I almost with even though I have like no money, like I would pay someone to come and catalog my yarn. But like I think what spurred this on is I had actually an ex from high school reach out and was like, "Hey, I'm stash busting. Like, can I give you some yarn? Like, what do you primarily use?" And I honestly was like literally well at first they didn't say stash busting, they were just like, "What kind of yarn do you use?" And I was like, I don't know how to answer that. Yeah, of course, it was really fun. Sorry I can't come up more often, but I'm glad I was able to come up today. Um and uh so she was like, "What kind of yarn do you use?" And I was like, mostly 4-weight." She was like, "Okay, so worsted weight." And I was like, "Okay, well, okay, sounds like she knows something about yarn." And then she was like, "I'm stash busting. Um, would that be cool with you if I give you some acrylic yarn?" And I was like, "Yes." And I was like, just to be perfectly clear, like you're not asking for any money for this, right? Because I was like, I have like $0 and like -0 cents. So like I really need to make sure that I'm not leading you on with false pretenses of you making any money off of me. And she was like, "Nope. Uh, I just want to, she's like, I've seen your work on uh, Facebook, and I thought you would really appreciate this yarn." And I was like, "That's so sweet." So we're going to meet up this upcoming week, and she's going to give me that yarn. And then maybe, I think she knits more than she crochets, is what it sounds like. So I think we're just going to like meet up every once in a while and you know, craft together, which is pretty cool because I need more crafty friends. Since I moved, I feel like I really don't know anyone anymore. Like the people that I knew in high school, like we have not much. You can, yeah. So, yeah, so I just really, I'm excited. It's always weird, like in these situations when you have like a relationship with someone to be like, hey, let's meet up again. Cause I'm like clearly not interested in a relationship right now. But like it sounds like it has potential to be like a pure like craft friendship, and that's exciting. So, um, I am thrilled about that. And then, but that inspired me to be like, okay, shit. I was like, do I need a stash bus? And I already sent like a huge box of yarn to Darsha when she won the giveaway. So I was like, I still need the stash bus because like maybe because I just have too much yarn and it's kind of chaotic. I don't know how to organize it anymore. If you watch my TikTok on like being an ADHD crocheter, like you can see like I literally have there's very little rhyme or reason as to how I organize my yarn because I have so many different types of yarn. How do I do it? I don't really know. So her giving me more yarn, even though I just stash busted, is kind of like me being like, okay, I need to do something. And it's possible I could just pick like 5 random yarns, put them on the Excel sheet, and then do randomize from there. Um, but I that might be what I start with, and then like later on, um, I can uh, I can like add more yarns and stuff like that. Add like the full inventory rather than just the yarns that I don't really typically use that much. I expect to be using my knitting machines quite a bit just to work things up faster. I'm really not sure how to do this like movement into this quote unquote well, I guess it is in the round technically, but like this square into this diamond corner shape. I'm not sure how to do it best because it's just like it's really kind of wrecking my brain a little bit. And I'm just not totally sure what to do. Maybe I'll end at the purple and I'll just like switch over real quick and do like a mattress stitch. Yeah, I guess that's what I'll do. I actually don't know how to do a mattress stitch, but I just know a lot of people do it, so I'm just gonna figure it out. I'll just watch a YouTube video on mute. I think it's pretty easy. I think it's just a way to like kind of stitch together things and have it not be like super apparent. But like I don't know how to incorporate this into the design um of my square blanket. Also, I hope it's big enough because like so this square is okay, wait, it's not big enough right there. So that won't work. Wait. Yeah, it's still not big enough. I still need another rough. Okay, I don't have to worry about it. I'm a potato. I love potatoes. They're awesome. I can't believe there were so many grits haters. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't want to be mean to anyone on your live, but I was really like, I don't think we're gonna be friends after this. um, I love grits so much, and, like, I don't know anyone, like, literally anyone in my personal life who doesn't like grits. So I was a little, like, surprised. But I know everyone, like, prepares grits differently, there's different types of grits. So, like, everybody's different, but I just kinda couldn't believe it because grits are a fundamental part of the food pyramid here in the South, so I was really pretty surprised. Like, shrimp and grits, huge dish here, and, I love it. Although I did have a shrimp and grits omelet, which in hindsight was a really stupid idea. I just love shrimp and grits so much. I just was like, I barely even read that it was an omelet until I was ordering it, and I was like, oh, I guess it's an omelet. And it came with like two shrimp in it. Grits and like egg omelet are really weird together. It was not very good. It was so bland. It almost brought tears to my eyes because I love well seasoned food. And I just was like, um, yeah, I don't know what to do with this. It wasn't very good, but did I eat it? Yes, because I am a trooper. Um, but yeah, so what do we think about the ideas for the different ideas for the channel? Do we think those could be fun? Could help inspire other people to like stash bust? Or do you think that they're just like stupid and no one will watch them? Because I always feel like I have a lot of ideas and I feel like they are sometimes pretty good. And then I feel like I would do all this work and then no one really watches them. So, so I don't know if I'm like doing it wrong or if my channel is just basically dead and, you know, just my old favorites come back. I don't know. I mean, I know I'm an acquired taste and I fully accept that. But but yeah, uh, I'm just kind of trying to figure out how to like do the crochet that I want to do. And if I put a lot of work into something, I want to have people see it. Like, it's not that I need to be like famous or whatever. It's just like, it's a little demoralizing when you do put a lot of work into a video and you get more views from your lives, which generally take a lot less effort. But even then, it's like, okay, so I need to switch yarn colors. So I'm switching to green. That's blue. Again, sorry about the camera. Okay. Oh, no, it's crooked. Zach, have you seen any good movies lately? I don't know if you're a big movie watcher. I don't know if I've ever heard you talk about movies, but I feel like that's something that I've been trying to get back into more and more this past year is watching more movies. And I just feel like there's so many good movies out there. I just can barely keep track. So you big movie watcher, or do you not really watch movies that much? I definitely don't think I could have when I was a beginner learn to do corner to corner, because it's, it is a little bit tricky, just kind of figuring out your tension and different things, but it is really, really fun, and I do enjoy it a lot. So I'm kind of like a little bit annoyed that I haven't picked it up before now. I don't know how people do like big graph scans with it, because I don't understand the color changing process well enough to understand how anybody does like a big, huge, you know, detailed corner to corner piece. But it's still really cool, and just like the colors look different, the orientation. Hey Jet, welcome in. I am working on a baby blanket. This is my whip of the week. And this is the corner of the baby blanket. It's two different types of yarn, actually, but I started doing a regular corner to corner, realized I didn't have enough yarn, and so I switched over to Caron Simply Soft, except the yellow, which is uh, uh, Red Heart Soft. And, and, yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate the two together. So we're just kind of playing it by ear. I didn't really mean to be doing so. I didn't mean to be working so late, but I just like I was working. I was telling Zach I was working on the Packer that I was working on in his live, and I just kind of got sucked into the zone. Kind of not a super great night. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, if you want to talk about it, we're here. If you don't want to talk about it, we'll still support you. No matter what you need, we got your back. I'm doing all right. I'm kind of in like a weird like limbo with my new meds, but it seems like overall things are getting better. Even if life has its curveballs, but you know what can you do? I know Zach is trying to get some sleep, but he's having some difficulty sleeping, which I guess works for someone who does late night lives. Oh my gosh, it's 3 a.m. here. Oh my gosh, it's so late. Um, but I hope your night slash day slash everything just gets better and easier. I don't know your situation, but I know these days happen. Sometimes when we least expect them, sometimes when we do expect them, and they're hard to deal with. But you know, I find that I often am comforted with the love that I find around me, and um, it does really help me with my family and chosen family, um, and my chosen family that I'm able to talk. We just had someone bang on the neighbor's door, and they ran after them. Eat the cogs that got me too. Oh no! Oh geez, sounds like my old living situation when I lived on in a certain part of Charlotte. It was just constant, just like there's always some shit. So, yeah, that's not fun here. Fun to hear. I'm sorry that that's going on, and I hope that everyone's okay, and you know the proper things that need to happen. I don't know if I can be any more vague about that, but you know, I hope it gets better. Sorry you're dealing with that. That's stressful. So I was talking to Zach about two ideas that I have. Everyone is okay so far, I think. Okay, that's good. Um, so two ideas that I have. One of them I'm working on actually right now, and it's where stupid heart in the corner of our chat. Where I don't see one. Oh, you're saying, oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think it's just so you can give like little props to people when they say stuff you like, but you don't want to like press a button. Yeah, it's annoying for sure. Um, but one of the things I wanted to do is like a whip Wednesday where I have a list of all of the whips that I have to do in no particular order, and I pick a randomizer, use a randomizer in Excel to one of the few things I remember from my lengthy time doing Excel. Um, and it randomly picks a project for you. So this is actually the one that it picked, which is kind of perfect because it's the one I wanted to do. So it worked out well. And then so I'm thinking about picking those, posting them every Wednesday, and then I'm also thinking about potentially doing a stash busting Saturday or Sunday, could be either. Um, but just where I do something similar, except in theory, I would catalog all of my yarn and I would just randomly pick a yarn and then I would like be able to pick and choose from things that go with it, and I would have to use that yarn because I have a lot of yarn that like I've had for a while and it's nice or I forget about it, and like I just don't use it, and I'm like I need to stop waiting for the perfect project for this and just use it, right? So I was thinking maybe I'd start with like a couple things that I don't use normally, and then kind of go up from there. But who knows? So, do any of those ideas sound cool? Would anyone watch those or be interested in those? I feel like I try to do a lot of challenges and I tend to not stick with them because they're a lot of work to like edit and put together. But then like no one really watches them, so I feel not no one, but they just have like really low like view counts, and so I'm like I feel like I did a lot of work for like literally no reward when I could just like do it by myself, not record it, and be fine. Thank you, I appreciate that. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna start with the whip one first because I really don't know how I'm gonna like jot down all of the yarn I have because I have just so much. But if you saw my TikTok, you can see how disorganized and just chaotic everything is, and I want to be able, and like I have a friend, actually a former ex, who is going to give me more yarn. And I was like, I just did a giveaway where I like stash busted, and now I'm gonna get more yarn, and I'm like, I need to do something about this. This is becoming a serious problem. I mean, like, yes, will I always say yes to free yarn? Duh. But I also need to be moving through yarn, and I kind of tend to use the same thing over and over again. Like I'm using Caron Simply Soft for this inner triangle because because first of all, I knew I had a lot of pastels that would match this uh, baby rainbow color from Red Heart, but but also I haven't used it in a really long time, so I was like, oh, I should actually use some of this, and that's another thing that inspired me was like I should actually use some of this yarn that I have like tons of colors in. But I went through a big Simply Soft phase, and I'm in a pretty big twist phase, and now I just want to kind of just get through some yarn to make room for more yarn, and then also to be able to bring some organization into the whole thing. I'm probably gonna let you all go because it is a little late for me to make sure my medicine kicks in. So I'm gonna let you go, but I will talk to you after Christmas, I believe. And I hope you all have a wonderful holiday if you celebrate. If you don't celebrate, I hope you have great days. You don't need holidays to have those. So, and I hope everything's okay with you um, uh, in that situation. That sounds, intimidating to say the least. But again, I've been in places that were kind of on the other side of the tracks, and it was a little bit like that pretty frequently. So I hope that's not a frequent occurrence for you, and I hope that everyone is safe. So have a great night, you both, and I love you very much.